Hey everyone, how the hell are you? Mitchell Lee, Brandon 2, Tommy Grant. We're talking about more Steven Spielberg. Press play action, Jersey Nerds Productions. Let's go. We got Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and we got E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. So we're getting straight into the Spielberg sci-fi. We've got some 70s, we've got some 80s, a lot of stuff that makes you go, huh, so Stranger Things just ripped that completely, huh?
That was your thought
It's kind of
process?
hard. It's kind of hard to avoid it. So, guys, let's start things off with those encounters, shall we? Let's start things off in the 70s. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Again, Spielberg. This was the movie that came out directly after Jaws, and it also stars Richard Dreyfuss, like Jaws did. It's got Terry Garr, Melinda Dillon, Francois Truffaut. And this one came out November 16th, 1977, budget of $19 million, made $306 million. Steven Spielberg just too big to fail. Now, the box office question for the week. 1977. Obviously, if you keep up with film, you know that Star Wars was the big hubbub in 1977. However, there was one other American movie that outgrossed Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Which movie is it? Domestically, at least.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of like 1977 movies. You don't want me to like Google 1977 movies, right? Would that
I
be
feel
okay?
Like you might need to with
Okay.
this.
Okay, fair enough.
I know one 77 film. I don't know if it beat it though, but my guess is Saturday Night Fever.
No, that was number 4.
Okay. See, that's a good guess.
It is a good guess.
It's the only one
I'll
off the top of
give-
my head that I can think of that I know is like a 70s movie.
I'll give one guess.
I can't wait to see which like 53rd place movie you get.
Oh, I
Can
know
we-
exactly what it is. Okay, got it.
Can we
Let
go
Brandon
with?
guess one.
Yep.
Can we go with The Deep?
No, was not The Deep.
It wasn't even close. Okay.
Well, no, The Deep was number 7, so that wasn't
Okay.
atrocious.
So, but it wasn't like a James Bond film or something like that. It wasn't like
No, it
something
wasn't
obvious.
The Spy Who
Okay.
Loved Me. No.
Okay.
No, that's a very
Tommy?
lesser known one. My other one, just because I've heard this movie so many times, it's gotta be Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit, number 2,
Yes,
made
let's
126 million domestic in 1977. Close Encounters of the Third Kind made 116. Now, this was a movie that, Tommy, I hope maybe you're a bigger fan of this, because I didn't do it on purpose. It's just what was available to me. I watched the director's cut of this movie because
Oh,
that's what was available to me.
You should have watched
there
the theatrical version.
I always want to, and the theatrical version is just it's 2 minutes shorter, so it's
Yeah.
not some grand thing. It's
Well,
2 minutes shorter.
I'll
There was a
ask
special
what
edition
you
released in
think.
the 80s, and then a director's cut released in 1998.
okay, so he basically cut 2 minutes whenever he was like, "This is." I thought the theatrical release just ended like very abruptly. I don't know if Tommy watched the theatrical release, but very abrupt ending to me.
I had to rent Close Encounters through the Fandango app.
Oh, okay, you did Fandango. I did Prime
Yeah.
Video, and it was actually $1 more to just buy it, so I went ahead and bought it.
Okay.
Probably not a great decision,
Yeah.
but
I watched it through certain channels.
fair enough.
Yeah.
That's why you had the
Certain channels that
director's
will
cut.
not be
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah,
That's why you had the director's cut.
yeah.
So I'm
Yo ho, yo
curious-
ho.
I'm curious what's in the director's cut. That's like not like. I wonder what was taken out of the theatrical release. But I will say this
for
movie
one,
feels like it abruptly ends. And I
for
don't wanna
one,
start
did
at the
not
ending, but
care
yeah.
and less as to what was on the director's cut for 2 extra minutes.
Yeah.
Was it
Maybe I don't.
Was
care.
it more the 5-note motif that just plays nonstop in this movie?
Apparently, the special edition that released in 1980
Okay.
that's 3 minutes shorter, but you get to see the inside of the ship. and
Ah,
Spielberg was like, I should have never. That was a horrible idea.
So he
I
Should have
cut it.
never showed him when they inside the ship. So that he removed that from the director's cut that wasn't already in the theatrical version. I'm gonna stop beating around the bush here. Maybe okay, if you look at my letterbox review, the uh the review was just simply maybe I'm the asshole. Because there's a lot of these 70s movies that just don't work for me. And
Yeah,
maybe it's because they take their time a lot more. But I don't think that I'm a short attention span type of moviegoer. I like it when a story takes its time, but I was not a fan of this movie.
well,
I did not like this movie. I felt like
yeah,
so much of this movie was just fucking about. And I didn't care about the characters as much as I wanted to. And once we finally got to the alien stuff, you had already released so much of the tension from the room that I didn't really care, and you didn't really do anything with it when it happened. I know this is a movie that a lot of people are very fond of.
yeah.
yes.
I was very surprised by the critic reviews on this movie. Yeah, just how much people like it. But
So
keep going, Mitchell.
I think
What? I mean, go ahead, Tommy. Whoever
Well,
wants
no,
to
I kind of
take
want.
it.
I feel like we might not be too far off from each other on this one.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so. Is this everybody's first time watching this movie?
yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I honestly
So,
accidentally almost watched Close Encounters, and then I was like, "Wait, I need to watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind." I was
Wait, is
like,
that a different movie?
yes,
"It's like
there's a few
it's like a
Close
2012."
Encounters
Yeah, there's like a
titled
2012
movies.
movie.
Oh
Yeah, so
no.
I just wanted to make sure that I was watching the right one earlier to this morning when I messaged y'all.
I think we're a little lower
Yeah,
on the bar because we don't have the nostalgia factor of this movie because
but like, what's the
this
nostalgia?
came
Like,
out this came out in the middle of like the big space age movies rush. Like
It
sure,
came
obviously
out a few
we
months
went to
after
the
Star Wars.
yeah, but like we came, we went to the moon in the '60s, and then all of a sudden you get a wave of sci-fi films kind of coming out from that.
yeah.
You get the Star Wars movies, obviously. You get Star Trek. You have a lot of alien invader movies that came out in the '70s.
Is this
Uh,
like based off of like a novel or like another work? I'm
that
assuming it
I'm not
is.
sure of.
I
Um,
don't want to misspeak and say
No.
like this isn't original, but so it's just original is what you're.
Yeah.
I think
That's
like the
interesting.
'70s and '80s, I feel like we're kind of like the age of like sci-fi movies, like the really
Yeah,
like a whole wave of just really the cheap, low budget sci-fi
I
movies
was.
came out. And I think this was just really a really good one for the time, so it kind of just became a staple piece of sci-fi cinema that everybody just loves it. But having never seen it and then watching it like 50 years after it's come out, obviously it's
Yeah.
aged because made in the '70s, and it was
Can I say something to that? I don't think it like looks poor. I
no,
think
it
the
doesn't look
No.
bad.
story
It's just, but
is
it's
just
also the '70s, so it's very slow. Like Mitchell was saying, there's
right.
not a lot
Yeah.
going on, and I feel like it was almost, was it like Jaws 2, where it's like you don't see the aliens the entire movie until like the very end.
Well, yeah, but like Mitchell kind of says it. By the time you see the aliens, the air is like out of the room, and like it doesn't. To me, it
Yeah,
like does not matter. Like they're sitting around debating these aliens like in a conference room. I guess is what the setting was. I don't really know what they're doing, but they had like a press conference in a conference room, and they're like basically trying to lie to these people and telling them like these aliens don't exist, and they're like you can't lie to us and stuff like that. And to be fair, that might have been the most interesting part of the movie to me because I didn't really care about anything else in this movie
now I
outside of
think
that. I mean, I don't
when you
know.
zoom out a little bit and look at this movie in the context of Steven Spielberg films,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think it was a really cool movie in the fact that he makes this movie, which is very adult focused and adult kind of obsession with things. You have these adults that are just obsessed with finding these aliens that they saw.
hmm
Whereas flash forward a few years to ET, where you have it's a very, very different movie, but same concept. But you have it from a kid's point of
yeah.
view,
It's a kid's point of
where
view.
it's very focus on innocence and the relationship with kids and aliens and that kind of thing. And so
And I know we
watching
got a couple of months. We got a couple of months, Tommy, but going back to our first annual horror watches last year, watching this movie, you can't convince me that Steven Spielberg didn't direct Poltergeist, because a
oh yeah,
lot of those scenes, especially the scene
yes,
where the mom and her kid are in the house and they're trying to like close off the house and everything's just kind of rumbling and the kid is just like not even phased by it at all. It felt
yep,
very poltergeist-y to me, and so I could see the direct line to Poltergeist. I also saw the direct line to E.T., whereas in that
Mm,
movie, and I'm not gonna spoil too much of my thoughts on E.T., but I do think that movie is considerably better.
yes,
um I think that the characters are a large reason why it
yeah.
is considerably better, because this is also a movie that's an hour, or sorry, it is not an hour. Hell no, it's not. It is 2 hours and 17 minutes. The
it
version
was
that I watched
it
was,
was a
Hour
lot.
and I
hour and 80,
felt it.
180. Yeah, 180 I think is what I had, or like one.
180.
No, not
What
180.
version did you watch?
Yeah, no, 2 hours and like 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This movie felt long as hell, and there are so many scenes. Like, how many bricks do I have to watch this guy throw into the fucking
So
sink?
so that was
Like,
so
this guy spent like 10 minutes throwing
when we
bricks and plants into the sink. I think I understand.
when we got to the part where he starts doing that to his house, I was like, okay, can we like skip ahead like 15 minutes? Like, can we just get to the part where
What,
he
15
like,
minutes later, he's still gonna be throwing bricks in the
yeah, I
sink.
I mean it was a long scene. It was like 10 minutes. He's like grabbing like wire like fencing or something. Like I don't really know what was going on. I was just very I don't know.
So,
I was just like
so
out
His
of it at
neighbors
that
was
point.
threatening
the
to shoot him with a
director's cut
hair
two
dryer.
extra? Was the director's cut 2 extra minutes of him throwing bricks into the sink?
It might have been just 2 extra minutes of him throwing bricks.
That might have been the whole 2 minutes. It's
'Cause
just, now grab whatever you can and throw it in the sink.
I will say I was watching it on Prime Video because that's where I. There's not an ad for Prime Video, but I just purchased the movie
No
off of Prime
free
Video.
ads, Brandon.
Yeah, no free ads. But basically I pulled up one of the scenes in where he's like putting the mashed potatoes on his plate. I just randomly like had the like little blurbs they have up, and it's like when the daughter goes like, "There's a dead fly in my potatoes." Apparently that was like unscripted. It like she just said that because there was a dead fly in her mashed potatoes, and Spielberg left it in because he's like, "Oh, that's a pretty funny line," and like apparently it almost broke like everyone's like character. And I was thinking to myself like, was Spielberg so bored with this? He was like, I had to leave it like funny lines and like a 4-year-old says. I'm like, I just don't.
There was
understand
another
it.
one
I don't understand
where one of the alien ships go by, and this kid just goes, ice cream, and I'm like, the fuck kind of ice cream truck looks like that?
Yeah.
What?
And why is it in the sky?
Ice cream?
Why was that your first
Yeah,
thought? Is ice cream?
What? Ice cream?
I mean, so I totally get the beginning of the movie where I don't even know what that kid's name is. Billy. I don't know what that kid's name is, but he's like going after the ship.
Bozo.
He's going after the ship, and then I believe he gets abducted. It's not really clear whether he gets abducted or not, but
He
I think that's
did.
the problem with the movie. Is like it's not very clear like what actually happens. I guess it doesn't really show you.
I
It kinda
didn't
just
mind
tells
that
you.
as much because it adds to the uncertainty that the characters are like, they're trying to
Did
connect the
this
dots
actually
as
happen?
well.
Yeah, did this actually happen? Type of thing. Yeah.
I think if you're trying to be a more quote unquote intelligent horror movie, or not horror movie, alien movie, you can lose me kind of quickly.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
at
is.
with
I
it.
just I'm very like I need to rewatch that movie Arrival, but that was something that went a very different route and just lost me for large chunks of the movie. Like, I thought that the scenes at the beginning with the ship set up a vibe that I was willing to go with for the rest of the movie. And then the rest of the movie is just following
It's
around
not
these
that.
characters that I didn't care about. I felt made bad decisions. I felt the people in their lives weren't interesting. Like the wife of Richard Dreyfuss, I did not care about her or their kids at all. um you have the government in these situations. They always have like that town meeting, and
Yeah.
it goes one of two ways. You either have the government is lying to people, or the government is just trying to settle people down because you have like fake ass Glenn Powell in Stranger Things that's leading like a mob mentality towards something. That's
Yep.
the only two ways that these things go. And this one went the government's hiding something route, which I find to be the less interesting one.
Yeah, that probably is less interesting. Barry was the kid's name, Barry Geiler. So
Who
Yeah,
gives a
I had
damn?
yeah, I
don't
did not
care for
care.
any of the characters. I didn't remember any of their names, and I
I
just watched
that
it an hour ago.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? I watched this movie today or like yesterday. No idea who these characters are. I could care less. I think I know that the main character's name is Roy. That's about it. I mean, maybe that just tells you like where we're at with this movie.
Because they just
Is
keep yelling Roy,
Yeah, no,
Roy, when he
well,
just
yeah,
keeps
I
throwing
did know
things in the
Roy was.
sink.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I can't get over that scene. That goes on forever.
It's not. But it's not interesting. Like that's the problem. None of it's interesting. Like none of it's exciting. There's and then don't get me started with the end. I mean, we can talk about the end for like 2 minutes if you guys were like, because I don't have a lot to say. But when they start playing that 5 note whatever and the lights are blinking, I'm like,
Goofy.
what is going on here? I'm
It's
over it.
goofy, and it goes
Yeah.
on for way too long.
Goes on for like 5 minutes. I wonder if the director cut, like he cut part of it. Like I wonder if
He
that's
might
what
have
it
added
was.
more.
The most interesting part of this movie for me was the very opening scene where you get a foreshadowing for Spielberg's obsession with World War II in India. For the two Indiana
True.
movies, you have the World War II
True.
fighter planes, and then you have the Indian villagers basically chanting the song. I'm like, wow, he really likes these two things. I wonder why he threw them into Indiana Jones. And it's like that was the only interesting part of the movie for me. So it's like, oh, this kind of set up what he was going to do in the future movies.
Interesting. Yeah, I
By
don't
the
know if
way-
I felt that way, but yeah.
And then like his obsession with like adding motifs in, which I thought was a cool concept. You know, and obviously we know the infamous Jaws one, and this
Mhm.
one's pretty well known as well. But the use of that
You
was
guys said you liked the look of the movie. This did win Best Cinematography at the
Yeah, I don't think
1978.
it looked bad.
Oscars.
I think it looked good. It's just what were we looking at? Not an interesting story.
It
Yeah.
was also nominated. Okay, I don't understand this one at all. Melinda Dillon was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I don't get that.
Barry's mother. Right?
Barry's mom, yeah. I mean, she wasn't
Well,
bad.
She was in the
Best
movie for
Supporting
like.
Actress.
She was in the movie for like 20 minutes.
I mean, she had a substantial role, but I just don't think that she was that good. Best Director, Best Art Direction, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Music. So this got a lot of. It
Okay.
did not get a Best Picture nomination, but it
Well-
did get a lot of the technical aspects of things. And it's
I guess-
rare that a movie gets a director nomination and not a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah, that is pretty rare. I don't have a lot more to say about this movie. I am probably in the similar grade category as you, Mitchell, or grade spectrum. So I'm
Where you at?
C minus 5.1.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it was a bad movie. Like I don't think it was like awful. It's just very boring. If I have to say something about it, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I think that's kind of how a lot of sci-fi films go. If it doesn't have a really good story or characters, it can go really slow. And I think that was the case for this one for us. And I was in the same boat. Mine was a C 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in between you guys. I'm at a C minus 48.41. Very similar grade to what I gave Evil Dead 2, although for very different reasons. Evil Dead 2 went
different
so off the wall that I felt like I was losing my mind, and I think that's a lot of people's appeal for that movie. I just wasn't on the same wavelength of that.
This has a 3.8 on Letterboxd, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people consider this to be like Spielberg's hidden gem. Well, keep that shit hidden, because I'm not very interested in. I'm never gonna watch this movie again. It is what it is, and if you love this movie, then I'm glad that you do. but it's just not for apparently any of us. So maybe it's a generational thing.
The
I don't
movie
know.
poster,
It's also it's known for being the movie that legitimized sci-fi kind of in mainstream cinema.
That's
Like,
fair.
this is like kind of what launched sci-fi movies. So
Not
that's
Star Wars.
I mean, well,
yeah.
I don't know if Star Wars is like sci-fi. Star Wars is like, I mean,
Star
it's
Wars is more
sci-fi,
sci-fi fantasy. This is more
right? It's
Okay,
sci-fi fantasy.
fair. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you that.
I will say the movie poster, I hadn't seen it until now. Just a road and like a light, like almost like a moon or something.
Movie poster's good. I like that.
Yeah, I
Good
actually
poster.
think that's like good. I don't know, like it's not really telling me anything about the movie,
It's
but to be
clearly a
fair,
flying ice cream cone.
yeah, clearly a flying ice cream
Yeah.
truck. I don't
So
really know
yeah, so
what's
maybe
going on.
that's what that kid saw. It's just flying, chocolate syrup. All right, let's
I
get
think we can
into
move to the way better alien.
yes. Let's talk about E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial again. Steven Spielberg back in the director's chair. This one came out after Raiders of the Lost Ark, and everyone
So
was really
this is
excited to
his-
see how he would follow that up.
Yeah.
This stars Dee Wallace, Peter Coyote. There's no way that's actually his name. Henry
That's a
Thomas,
badass
Robert McNaughton, a very young Drew Barrymore.
I had
This
no
was-
idea she was in this until tonight when I saw
How?
the trailer. I was like,
Have you,
You know,
have you
I
wait? Have
think
you never
anyone
seen this
ever-
before?
I don't think
Yeah,
anyone
it's been a
ever
long
like
time.
mentions
I've
that it's
never-
like Drew Barrymore's in the movie. It's just like, oh,
I've
she's
seen
in
this
it.
People
movie-
mention that all the damn time. Where the hell have you been?
I guess we.
sorry,
I guess we're not on the same planet.
Career.
Yeah, I guess we're not
Uh,
on the same planet then.
Shame on you. This came out June 11th, 1982, with a $10 million budget. And over the course, because this has gotten a bunch of different re-releases and stuff, and it has made $797 million. This thing
mean,
is
good
a
for it.
box
Yeah.
office juggernaut. And this movie was the highest grossing movie of 1982 by far domestically. I mean, it's not even a little bit close. I'll ask you guys, what was the number 2 highest grossing movie of 1982? You won't get it. All right, I'll ask you the number 2 highest grossing movie and the movie that had the biggest opening weekend of 1982. They're 2 separate movies.
Well, it's
Because
definitely
E.T. did not have the
Rocky
highest
3.
grossing.
There's so many.
Did not have the
Yeah.
highest grossing opening weekend. That was number 4 for highest grossing opening weekend. Number 3 was Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Number
Okay.
2 was Rocky 3.
Okay, that was one of my
number 2
guesses.
is Rocky 3. And then
Okay.
number 1 was something else.
Blade Runner.
Interesting.
No.
That was like a cult classic, I think. Like,
Yeah,
people-
that was
yeah,
that was
people
really a
didn't like it.
moneymaker.
Rambo.
No.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like
Ooh, yeah,
No.
okay.
it was like a
Oh, I
Annie.
guess Fast Times.
You got to think opening weekend. Think, like established audience.
Annie?
No.
Tron.
Yeah, Tron. would've been-
Established audience.
Hey, Tron's a good movie. You
I
shut your
didn't
mouth.
say
Better
it
not-
wasn't.
Star Trek 2.
Correct.
definitely not-
Why'd you say better not? Wrath of Khan's really good. What are you talking about?
Well, I was about to say it better not be Grease 2.
Oh,
It's
no,
not.
it's
That
Wrath of
is
Khan.
that is an established audience.
Yeah.
we could say these two.
Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, also known as the best of the original series Star Trek movies, in my opinion. Ricardo
okay.
Montalban, excellent Khan. And Tootsie
Tootsie.
was the second highest grossing movie of 1982, but E.T.
Never even heard of
was
that
number 1, and this thing was an incredibly influential movie. I don't think you get Stranger Things without E.T. So much of this just comes straight.
one. Oh, even just the
From
opening
E.T.
sequence with them playing
Oh, yeah.
games in the basement. Like that
Exactly. Yep.
Dungeons and
this
Dragons.
movie-
Little geeks. Yeah.
This movie won Best Score, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound Editing at the Oscars. Did get a Best Picture nomination. Did get a Best Director nomination. Didn't win either of those. But it was one of the most acclaimed movies of that year. And I really like this movie. I don't love it, but I really like this movie. It is
I
a
think-
definite step up from Close Encounters, but I totally understand the people that do love it. Whereas Close Encounters I watch and I'm like, I'm sorry, where's the entry point? I get it with ET. I'm just not
Yeah.
quite there.
I
I think
think there's
E.T.'s
an
like one of
entry
the most
point.
well-known, best like family movies.
It's a go-to.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I don't think I had seen this movie in full
no,
Really?
before this. So yeah, I was trying to like decide if I had, and I definitely had not. So
I
it's
know
kind of
this
my
was a
first
movie
full
my
rewatch.
parents really loved,
Yeah, my
and so we used to
parents
watch all the
liked
time
it.
growing up.
They just never showed me the movie. And then I went to Disney and we rode like I guess the ET ride, and I
Shut the
was
fuck
like,
up! It's not Disney, Universal, man. Get your
Universal.
fucking
Yeah.
Sorry, so Universal. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have butchered that. But my whole point was, I got on that ride and I was like, oh, I've never seen ET, and my dad was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I've only seen like bits and pieces. So I'm glad I got to watch this because I all I've heard is nothing but good things about it. Um, it's a really fun like first rewatch, like a first watch, not even a rewatch, like a first watch.
yeah.
It's a really fun first watch.
And I think
Um,
going to the ride, to
yeah,
going back to what you were saying, I think that's probably one of the best rides in Universal in the sense that like
agreed.
you
Yeah,
get to ride
agreed.
the bike and
Yeah,
they reenact that scene. Like he's like
yeah.
whether you've seen ET or not, I think everybody knows that shot of just the bike going across the moon that you see on the cover of the movie.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
that's like
definitely.
such a well known shot.
I like the opening of this movie a lot. I think it's
Same.
very well done. Um, you kind of are like thrown for a little bit of a whirl because there's just you don't really know what's going on if you haven't really like seen the movie. So you're kind of just like following whatever these soldiers are following or military people, and I don't know. I just liked all the visuals of it, and then you got to the D and it was like, okay, these kids are here smoking. I don't really know what's going on, but you're just like, let's keep it rolling. Yeah, and I just thought it was like a fun opening, and then you get like his encounter with ET, the extraterrestrial, and I think it's really really well done. So I like the opening about 15 to 20 minutes of this movie. I think it's really really well done.
What I really like about this movie, well, a lot of things, but I like that it would have been so easy to make Elliot and Michael super antagonistic, but I liked the relationship between the kids.
You have to
I I,
swear. You have to
I
promise
really
me.
liked that they were all kind of on the same page
Yeah.
as far as, okay, there's this thing in our house. This is what we got to do to protect it. And
Yep.
it wasn't a super antagonistic relationship. I really like that about this
Even
movie.
Gertie, who is like freaked out by it at first and like almost gives it away, like they
Yeah.
eventually convince her like he's not gonna hurt you, like and you're not gonna hurt it. So like we gotta find out what we gotta do with this thing in our house, basically. And then you can see Gertie's relationship with ET as well, which is very interesting as the movie goes on. But yeah, I mean, Spielberg definitely could have made that family dynamic like antagonistic, and yeah, I definitely think them pulling on the same rope together is a nice like thing to, and I guess that's why it's like a good family movie, right? Too like that's why it's a good
Yeah.
family movie.
Well, I think part of what made it a cool concept of the siblings actually getting along because the older brother easily could have been a dick, and you can almost see in a couple scenes where he wants to be an asshole and say something mean, but then kind of restrains himself and is like, you know what, I'm gonna be nice to my brother. And I think that's because they showed the divorced household because
Yeah,
divorced, and they make a point of mentioning that.
they
Yeah.
do,
I
and I will
I
say
thought that was a good way to go about that.
the little kid's kind of an ass at the very beginning of the movie when he's like, "Oh
Yes.
well, my dad's out here and he's in
He's
Mexico and
he's
his
in
mom,
Mexico.
yeah,
But
he's in
He
when I was
Mexico."
doesn't even
doing
like Mexico.
research on this just for some extra notes, I saw that E.T. was actually inspired by a made imaginary friend that Steven Spielberg made up when his parents were getting divorced and he was going through that.
Oh,
And that
okay,
was the inspiration for E.T.
full
and
circle
which
Hmm.
makes
moment.
sense why he made it a divorced family and kind of it was kind of like his
Yeah,
childhood.
no,
I
I
think
mean,
this movie starts really strong, like you mentioned, Brandon.
yeah,
And I think that the end, of course, is incredibly iconic with the
Yep.
with the bikes and all that stuff, and ET and the basket, and
And
him
phoning
going on the
home.
ship, phone home. Like, this stuff is iconic for a reason. I think that it starts off strong and it ends strong. Part of the reason why I don't love this movie the way that I'll be honest, I used to. My opinion on this has gone down throughout the years, but I
Hmm.
still do really like it, is because I think that the middle, like whenever Elliot's at school, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the frog scene to me just doesn't
Off,
work.
I hate that scene so much.
And I
When
think I
ET's
get
getting
what.
drunk in the kitchen or whatever, like,
Yeah.
I don't like
That's
that scene.
funny.
I hate
Can
that
I
scene.
can I say that the product placement and like the advertisements in this movie are very funny, because I think it's the first time there's like product placement in a movie for the most part, which is kind
Nope.
of interesting.
Did you not watch Close Encounters of the
I
Third
mean,
Kind?
it's not the first time there is, but like they actively like are like, hey, do you want this Pez and stuff like that? Like they're
They
The
they're
had,
brick
Coca Cola,
business
Piggly
was off the
Wiggly, all that
charts
in
after
Close
Close
Encounters.
Encounters
yeah.
came out.
No, that's true. That's true. They did have a figure. I was more saying like the actors like saying, "Hey, do you want a Pez?" Like
Reese's
trying to get
Pieces was a
people.
big part of this movie.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, like I think that's the first
I didn't
time
mind that.
people. No, and I don't think that was bad either. I just think it's funny that you can kind of trace it back. Like, do you want these Reese's Pieces? It's like, sure. I mean, why not? I don't know. Yeah, I don't like anything at the school. I don't think it's. I just don't think it's good. And I get
I don't
what
think that
Spielberg
you
was doing.
needed. I don't think that you needed ET and Elliot to, like, be connected.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
where
that just
I'm like
adds an
off.
unnecessary element to the movie. Maybe to just
It,
make it longer. I don't
it
know,
throws
but
me
I think you
off.
could have totally had this movie without that.
So you could have ET get sick, and you could also have Elliot get sick, and not be like connected together. Like I'm not
Yeah,
really sure
I
why they're
think
connected. You
the
know?
purpose of that was more to show the government's reaction and basically, because if there was no connection between the two and it was just ET sick, they could have just disposed of him right then and there and not worried about it. But
Yeah,
because he had a
yeah,
connection to the kid, they have to play the, well, we can't just kill it because that could kill the kid. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
No, but you
I
have
don't
that
think.
one guy that was more sympathetic,
Yes,
and he
very,
could have played a
very
bigger
sympathetic.
element in, like, keeping ET alive, and then
Yeah,
you wouldn't have
he
had to
did
have,
nothing.
like, that stupid connection where ET's getting drunk in the kitchen, and then Elliot's making,
So how does he
moon
get
eyes
sick?
at this chick.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out how did he get sick? Because like he just
They,
gets
they don't
sick.
really explain it. I think it was just
Yeah,
more
I
the
just
sense that
don't.
I almost feel like it was more like a homesick kind of thing, where because he just wanted to be home,
Hmm.
I
and
I thought
they
it was like, hey, I'm just, I've been on in your atmosphere for too long,
Yeah, I
it
was
could be
and
breathing
that
too much
too.
oxygen. Like like because and I do like the part where ET is like stranded by the creek, and he's like, I need you to go save him. Like I do like that because that like adds in like another layer. Like he's trying to search for ET and bring ET home, but I just yeah, I don't know.
I
Maybe you
think
could
it has
cut
to
out
do with
like
the
the
connection
20 minutes. Yeah, I think that had to do with the
because,
connection. But
especially since this is dealing with like divorced family, and they're showing
hmm
family's a big essence of the movie, and in the very beginning you see all of ET's family people, or everyone call them, their hearts kind of glow up. So like they're all, I think
oh
they're
yeah,
all
yeah,
connected, and then since he lost that physical connection with them, I think he
he's
latched
trying to
onto the
find it with
person
someone
who
else. Yeah,
Elliot,
yeah,
and obviously Elliot not being an alien like ET probably wasn't able to reciprocate it, and that's why ET started dying. That's my theory,
interesting. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, again,
and
I
that's
don't
why
like hate it. It's just could you take out
it
20
wasn't
minutes of
explained
this
very well.
movie?
That's definitely a
Yeah,
moment to explain when it is part of the main plot of the second half of the movie.
right. It's almost like up to interpretation, like what's going on. And I mean, I don't want to be like that person, but could you cut out 20 minutes of this movie and it would be just as good? I feel like you could probably
yeah.
cut out the school. You could probably cut out some of the in between stuff when they get lost, and then just roll to the end of the movie. Basically, I will say I do like the trick or treat. I like the Halloween stuff. Um, where he dresses up as a ghost and like she just doesn't even notice that it's like ET under there.
And, and I
That's
appreciate the nod that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg have in their movies, where you have Yoda show up in this, and then
yeah,
ET's uh, race shows up in Phantom Menace in the whole Galactic Senate scene.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys
No,
ever
that
knew
is
about
good.
that, but
No, I did actually know that. That is actually a pretty good nod, like a good Easter egg. Overall,
This is
like,
one of the most, I would say, like, if you're looking for an easy recommendation,
yeah,
I have a lot of trouble finding anyone that hates this movie or doesn't like it. This was actually the first movie ever to get an A+ grade on Cinema Score. The first movie to ever do that. And that's a
interesting.
rare thing to happen anyway. But yeah, this was the first one to ever do it. 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is just a movie that is hard to not enjoy.
yeah,
And
Hmm.
at the very least, you're going to like the movie. Whether you love it or not, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you're going to like it. You're going to have a good time with it. And, the end of the movie is iconic for a reason. You've got, it's a theme of these Steven Spielberg movies. John Williams again with an iconic score coming right back at you with it. And, he won Best Score for this movie. And shocker, John Williams is one of, if not the greatest of all time. So many iconic scores, and this is just another day of the office for him.
I mean, I don't know how this man does it. Like, he just wake up and just be like, you
you
know,
don't question the ways of
I
John Williams.
shit gold
true.
records.
Just
Yeah,
accept
he's
what
just
you
like,
do.
today I'm just gonna make the ET soundtrack. Like, I'm just gonna, gonna
Anyone
roll with
else,
it.
that would be a career defining moment. That's like the seventh,
Yeah, I don't even
best
think.
thing for him.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's his best
He's like, oh
soundtrack
yeah, I
by
forgot I
far.
did that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like almost like, oh, I forgot. Oh, here's another Oscar. Let me
Like,
put
I'm
it.
pretty
Yeah.
sure John Williams' sick days is when he just makes the motifs the score. So like when he
Oh,
had to make
okay,
Jaws,
yeah.
he was just really sick that week, and was like, you know what, hit a couple notes.
It's
There's your
like
score.
it's like those videos where the guys are making the theme for GoldenEye on N64, and it's just like, oh, I think we got a banger. it's like, let's go. Yeah, on his sick days, he's just in there. He's like, oh man, that was a good one. I'll have to save that away for
'Cause,
I
like-
know you said that Brandon, that you could have maybe cut out some of the stuff in the middle,
yeah,
but I think he learned some lessons. Close Encounters was a giant success. Everyone liked it at the time, made a bunch of money, but this movie was also about 20 minutes shorter, and
yeah.
part of that
He
was probably
definitely
because it's
cut it.
a younger demographic than
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind's got a lot to do with it. But I think that makes this movie better too, is that this movie is paced very well. I think that this is an hour 54-minute movie that moves really
Yeah,
quickly,
it
and I
does
think
move
that's another
well.
reason why this is a family movie for the ages, because it's something that you can put on in 2 hours, just flies by.
Yep.
So I don't know if any of you guys have anything else to say about this.
Space,
I'm ready to
A,
give my grade.
John Williams, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, go
That's
go
all you
ahead,
need to
Tommy.
know. Go watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
More do you
I'm
need?
interested in your grade. Go ahead, Tommy.
Mine was an A 20. Like it's up there.
Solid A movie. Yeah, yeah.
Solid A movie.
Um, this got dangerously close to the A+ range for me, but I think it's still in the A's. A 89.8.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the hater on this one.
Well, I mean, as the hater, you're gonna be like A-, which is to be expected.
A- 1.37.
Yeah, I knew.
So it's on that A-B+ tier for me. I think that a lot of the middle of the movie just it's like, all right, you're kind of losing me, and that frog scene is legitimately awful as far as I'm concerned. But yes, this is still a really good movie. This is a movie that I've had on DVD for the longest time because it's just kind of been in my life, because I had parents that grew up with it and they obviously wanted to share it with me as well. So you heard it here, guys. E.T. over Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I thought that one of you guys was going to stand up for it. and this was going to be somewhat of a fight.
It,
Tommy, I
it
thought it would be you, and
it
that
was
did
just
not happen.
it was an average movie for me. It wasn't anything that blew me away.
I'm
Fighting
very
for that
surprised.
movie.
And honestly, to the point we made before, I think the main thing that hurt it for me was the fact that it was a very long, drawn out movie and didn't have. For me, I need suspense. I need something like something to keep me excited about a movie a lot of times, and this just dragged on for a while.
I do
Well,
find it funny that on Letterboxd, I would be the odd individual at 4.5 stars, and Mitchell would actually be in the highest category of stars given. 4-star rating is 31% of the Letterboxd reviews. So maybe you're not as unique as you think you are, Mitchell. It's kind of what I was
maybe.
getting at. Maybe not.
I think he's telling you that you're not special, Mitchell.
That's the vibe I get from Brandon every time we speak.
I think most people are like an A- to A level on this movie, which I think to your ultimate point, Mitchell, is why you could recommend this movie to basically anyone.
Basically anyone, yes.
Yes.
All right, well, that's going to wrap things up for the sci-fi Steven Spielberg, at least for the time being. We will return to sci-fi Spielberg in, I don't know, about 3 or 4 pods from now. But Steven Spielberg tackled a lot of issues over his career. Next week, it's going to be Spielberg tackles race as we get The Color Purple, as well as Amistad. Guys, are you ready for 2.5-hour movies? Both of those?
I'm always ready for long
Well,
movies.
yeah, the color
As long as they're good.
purple. I'm ready for the original Color Purple.
Yeah, me too, because I liked the new one, but I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I definitely want to see how the Spielberg one stacks up. After that, Empire of the Sun and Always, then it's The Hook and BFG, and then Artificial Intelligence and Ready Player One. So we'll get back to that sci-fi element soon enough. Steven Spielberg made all different types of movies, and I'm definitely excited to. Now that we're out of the franchise zone with Spielberg, we're going to get into some different stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing maybe which elements of Spielberg I like more than others and ranking those along with the different movies that he made. So tune in next week and get our thoughts on The Color Purple and Amistad.